definitely don't feel safe. I don't want to die, Trevor.
So I just know what, you know, where they're at.
Does this work?
Not really, no.
Yeah!
You make the streams louder.
Pretty nice turbo manifold right there.
Yeah, thanks. I think it needs to go on an RB. I think we need to go a 26 in your 33.
Or we could fix this Mustang right up and put an RB in it.
You think that's what we need to do?
3.2.
I'd probably put a 2J in it. I reckon the 7.3 needs a turbo.
The 7.3 is cool. And I'm going to get involved with this and we're going to make some cool billet stuff for it. Big single or twins. I don't know, what do you reckon?
Something like that.
I reckon we start with a single.
If you guys are wondering who these guys are, this is Ben from R-Tech.
Hey fellas,
He
how's it
makes
going?
very nice intake manifolds. You
It's
wouldn't even
exhaust
know.
manifolds, not intake manifolds.
Okay, exhaust
Yeah,
manifolds.
sorry.
Okay.
I better get you on the tech.
And then we have Herman from PRP over
Hello.
here. He makes all kinds of billet goodies for RVs. We have the R35 coil kits in my 2JZ drift car and R32 GTR giveaway car. But you guys make all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, we do a lot of Ford Barra stuff. We do JZ, SR, 2J, all that sort of stuff. 4G63s. We're working on expanding our US sort of reach. Co-op with R-Tech and some billet stuff on some of these V8s. And we might get into some LS1 type stuff. Not a lot. It's a slow transition, but look, we're RB kings, so we try and ultimately make everything that we can. But we've got the technology and the gear to make whatever, so we've got a cool 2J here. I mean, we're making bits and pieces for that. R-Tech kits are going well, so it's the beginning. But
Yeah.
there's a whole world out there of stuff we can make, so we just need a little bit of direction and working with guys like you and projects like this to make some cool stuff happen.
Yeah, I agree.
So these guys are from Australia. PRP is based out of Australia. R-Tech, you're based out of Australia. You do all your designing stuff. You do all your designing stuff. Adam LZ, he is actually the North American distributor for PRP. He does a bunch of stuff with you guys. Same with R-Tech as well. You guys have sponsored some turbo manifolds. We've done some cool stuff together.
I think we've been working with you guys for a baby 18 months, something like that. Looking forward to more builds, more projects, and hopefully some new products for these V8s.
Yeah, and so they are also in the United States for the PRI show. They flew in a day or so early to come to the shop, hang out with me, check out some of my projects since, you know, I think we might be getting involved with some new stuff in the future.
Yeah, I think that 33 GTR needs a bit of R-Tech and PRP love.
Needs some Australian love, that thing, yeah.
We already filmed, we were looking at we're trying to diagnose the Evo wagon. So you actually have a real Evo wagon in Australia.
Yeah, we actually have a Evo 9 wagon that's automatic. We use that for R&D. We're doing quite an intensive build, a documented video series. We hope to launch the first episode in late December.
Yeah.
That basically we're taking that from a completely stock Evo 9 automatic, which ran 14.6, and the goal is to get into the 10s with that, with the automatic transmission, showing everyone every step of the way, every dyno run, every dyno tune, and then backing up at the drag strip each time. So
Herman, he actually brought some stuff. He has a suitcase
We brought
full
an
of
RB.
parts.
we brought an RB with us. Our buddy Josh from Driver Motorsports is bringing up a block now and a head, and then we just packed everything else into a suitcase. Our new cam covers. We've got an R-Tech exhaust manifold. We're borrowing a turbo off Precision, and we basically brought all the ignition system, the coil, new coil stuff we're releasing.
We've got the intake manifold.
Water pump,
manifold, the Dartone ITB water
wire.
full intake.
kit,
Yeah.
The new water pump, all oil pump. We've got all that bit. We're going to dress it all up. We've got a little section in the stand, IRP, Italian rods and pistons stand there. We're going to display a badass RB because that's what we do.
I think Trevor, you're coming out to the show, yeah?
I'm flying out with them. We're going to the show together. We're going to hang out basically at the show, do some stuff.
We're going to do a vid at the show. I think we need to do a vid at the show. You're a YouTuber.
for
That's
sure.
what we
Yeah,
do.
that's
That's
sweet.
No, we'll do some things. What do you guys think about America so far?
big. And it's
Big spread out.
It's cold.
Yeah.
It is cold here. And I know Indianapolis gets really cold. And I didn't bring enough gear. So we're going to freeze to death.
The Turbo LS swapped Fox Body Mustang. He drove that to the shop today, so we're stealing the turbo off of it, trying to size up some things, right?
If there's a possibility of turboing a Godzilla motor,
Seeing if there's room in the engine bay over here, possibly for something in the
I
future.
think it's easy to put a turbo, but it might not be easy to make it streetable.
Yeah.
That's all okay here. I mean, we just drove a Fox Body with a 4-inch out, I'd say bonnet, but there wasn't a bonnet.
Yeah.
That stuff's okay here, so yeah.
And so, like, if you were gonna drive something like that in Australia, what would happen?
You'd be arrested within 3 minutes. I don't know.
There'd be a helicopter chase. There'd be guns drawn.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
and you guys were saying that like when like you're driving, there's like cameras that see if you're on your phone, right?
Oh yeah. I get busted by them all the time.
Yeah, and there's portable ones too. So.
And if you're really lucky, you get a speeding fine going through a red light and on your phone at the same time.
Yeah,
that's the.
Have you had that before?
I've been close. I've had 2, but not all 3 together. That's license gone. Have
you been on the news for anything down there yet?
Oh no, this is normal. Everyone gets fined every day.
Every citizen's getting that one.
And speeding is like 10 k's an hour over, and you're done. You can't travel more than 8 k's over the limit anywhere for more than 400 meters.
The worst I've seen is someone got done for 2 kilometers over 100.
That's insane. Whereas yesterday, through driving a rental car. And I was driving to Denver to pick him up, and he's like, "Oh, how fast can you normally go?" And I was cruising up there like with other traffic, and we were doing about 100. Like speed limit's like 75, and it just as long like everybody was doing it.
It's 100 mile as well.
Miles an hour, which is like what is that? Is that 100?
Well, 60 is 100, and 120 is 200. It's roughly like 150.
Yeah, 150. I think 160 is what.
160, I think it is. Yeah.
Kilometers an hour. The fastest speed limit in Australia is what, 100?
110.
110, and that's on a big 6-lane freeway, 8-lane freeway. That's as fast as you can go. But I was in Italy last week, and they don't care. They can just go. We were doing some stupid fast speeds, and that's okay. That's normal.
Yeah.
So yeah, we need to relax those.
We do have
or move.
For guys in Sydney, we've got access to the Sydney Motorsport Park and Sydney Dragway, which is half an hour to an hour for everyone to get to, which is pretty good. And they actually run 3 sessions a day.
Wow.
Yeah, they run it's all fully lit at the drag strip. They normally have it's every Wednesday night. I think once a month they've got on a Sunday as well.
Motorsport's pretty big in Australia.
Yeah.
Even just the videos that I've seen and like the fabrication and everything is like another level. And how you guys were talking at like in Sydney, what you say, there's like 100,000 horsepower GTRs?
Yeah, I'd say at least.
Easy.
Yeah.
There'd be 50, a good 1,500 horsepower RBs.
And like R32, R33, R34.
Yeah.
But like, what about R35s? Is there a lot of those?
No,
not
really.
There is a few, like 2,000 horsepower. It happens, but it's only a few small shops. Precision Racing does a handful. They're doing a lot more.
Croydon's have got one.
Croydon's got one. Yeah.
Yeah, there's not many.
There's a few being worked on, but nothing like the RB scene. And the RB scene's been strong ever since I got into it, which was in the early 90s.
We've got development R32 GTR, and we've had that sort of modified and been working on that since about 2001, and that was built by Croydon's actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was 9,200 RPM.
And so, because recently we haven't even really had that many RBs in the United States, because GTRs only became legal a couple of years ago. Yeah. So 32s, we just started getting them, having support for parts and stuff. Like, you would have to order stuff from Australia, to get it over here.
Yeah, so we had them factory delivered in 94 with the R32. They did a limited 100?
106, I think they did.
Yeah.
But sub 100 sold.
And then the R33 and R34 were not delivered by Nissan. And they started coming in, I think, I'd probably say the late 90s.
I brought in heaps. That was what my
like
business was,
96,
importing cars.
97, 98 started coming in.
Hundreds of them.
We got
big
ours
scene in Australia.
Yeah, we got ours in, I think, 2001, we picked ours up.
Yeah. You know what the bonus is with the GTR though? You can buy a GTR and go and spend $100,000 on it and not lose that money. And in the performance game, since up until now, I mean, you lost all that money modifying a car.
Yeah.
Now
if you did that to a Civic, you would be
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. When we were modifying our GTR back in the day, we spent $50,000 on it. In the beginning of 2000. All the stuff that we had spent on that car, if we hadn't touched it, you'd get your money back now.
Yep.
But whereas modifiers earlier on, they knew they were never getting their money back. And I kind of felt like it was more free. It was more free form, people modifying cars. Whereas now they kind of modify it as an investment, and it kind of cuts back on that freedom of what their mods are, because they're always modifying.
Not to hurt the value of it.
Yeah, but they're modifying based on someone else's opinion. Whereas the 90s and early 2000s, you'd modify it your style, your way.
like the Fast and Furious Supra, where it's just like
whatever you want.
Insane subwoofers and speakers and fiberglass body kits and
you had to make everything yourself. Now it's
people laugh at a lot of those sort of generations and stuff. Whereas I'm older now, I'm 40 now, and I look back and go, well, no, they actually had their own identity. They actually had their own freedoms in terms of what their style was. But now it's just, I've got to build it like this because he needs to love it. Things are almost a bit more cookie cutter style now. Yeah.
Well, that's one thing I was gonna say. Is like we're spoiled now, you know, because like the fact that you can buy like an R35 coil kit straight off your website from Adam here in the United States, or a turbo manifold where you literally bolt on a Garrett G series and a Turbo Smart wastegate, and it's literally like perfect. Like it's just crazy. Where imagine trying to fabricate.
Yeah, like Herman and I have both come from those pasts, modifying it, building it in our garages, working on people's cars. And the reason I started going down this path was I was frustrated with waiting for fabrication, being limited by, you know, standard bends, and looking at it more from how would an OEM make a performance product for these cars.
Some of these bends, I mean, you can't buy bends like that.
Oh no!
Yeah, so
You can't do that.
yeah, so we're not limited to any radius or diameter or transition.
And it actually sits that way. In an RB, these usually come all the way down here to get the bend.
Yeah, so
and you were saying on certain manifolds, you actually have to jack up the engine.
Well,
Some people's manifolds for RBs, you have to do, you know, have to loosen
to get it on the studs.
Yeah, like, you know, we had an old Greddy manifold on our GTR. That's just what you had to do. You know, this is a reverse rotation, so this is definitely not a standard design for an RB.
And just to explain that, because we get asked a lot, reverse rotation, it's making the longer runners come out towards the strut tower.
So what I've done,
the turbo.
if this was a standard rotation, the turbo would spin clockwise. And so if you wanted to do that on an RB, you'd have to move this flange over to here. Now, by doing that, you have to increase the runner length, have some tighter radiuses, and come back on itself. And I thought, well, Nissan wouldn't do that if they made a high mount. Like, they had a low mount which used standard rotation because it pushed the flange out and down. But as a high mount, it's best to do a reverse rotation. By doing that, it allowed me to reduce the internal volume of the manifold, which increases response. It also allowed me to have longer radiuses, which also helps in flow. What I've done with this particular one is I made it suit RB20s, 25s and 26s.
With whatever bottom end.
Yeah, so
bottom end.
So even with a 30 bottom end, which is what, how many millimeters taller?
40
millimeters taller, you can still have the bonnet clearance and clear everything.
And fitting this thing within under 5 minutes with a turbo sitting on it and the wastegate, access to studs and stuff, which is
Just OEM hardware usually.
it's unheard of.
Correct. Yeah, I try to retain OEM.
Yeah, it's almost like a piece of art tech.
Yeah.
Right?
It's nice.
Well,
Art with some tech
I will
in it.
actually shout out that a lot of people ask me, what does RTEC mean? It means, well, automotive racing technology.
Okay.
That's where it came from. I've tucked the wastegate under the back, so it puts the wastegate in a position where you can plumb it back into the downpipe.
Heaps of room for a downpipe.
Yeah, you can run, I think, 5-inch downpipe if you really wanted to on this.
And that's the thing, it clears ABS and power steering, which is hard to do.
All my manifolds are designed to flow greater than the flange that it's machined for. That's not saying that you need to run a bigger wastegate, but some people in the past have had to run larger wastegates because that's what those manifolds didn't flow very well, so they had to run a larger wastegate. So we run a 45 Turbo Smart flange, so that allows you to run a Tile 44 Turbo Smart 45 or a Precision 46, so that uses the same flange, or you can chop it off and put a 50mm wastegate if your combination requires it. But so far, in all of our customers, no one's had any boost control issues with a 45. So Adam actually runs one of these. One on his with a G35 1050 on his white. Well,
His sedan,
white.
it was white. Now it's his green one.
Yeah, and that thing is just an animal.
Yeah.
So technically, that's, from a boost control perspective, that's a terrible turbo because it has a 62mm turbine and a 67mm compressor wheel. So the shaft speed is quite low. It means that the wastegate has to do a lot of bypassing to control the boost, and yeah, Adam loves that.
And it seems like it still works.
Yeah,
Still works really
on.
good.
Yeah.
They're kind of here to help me figure out what I'm going to do with the R33. Because initially this was supposed to go on the 32 giveaway car. And then we kind of decided to go, you know, the different way with it. Like more of the OEM, you know, buy the HKS turbos and literally like bolt them on, like OEM downpipes, that type of stuff. And kind of the point of the R33 build was to do like kind of like a Trevi spec build. And talking with you guys and like, you know, hearing all the things about like going to Australia and like that being like the GTR like mecca of the world.
Sydney is, yeah.
And
Sydney is,
yeah, Sydney
Of the world.
And like part of me, like that's why I haven't started it yet. You know, is like I'm trying to piece together like
There's a million different
where I
ways
want
you
to
can go.
Yeah.
There's so many different avenues you can go down. We're definitely on board. We want to help out whichever way we can. The advantage of going to a single V band in this application, you can run anything from a G25 to a G35 or a Precision 6466. and that gives you a really good spectrum from a 500 horsepower build to a 900.
And you have a Big Daddy manifold for the RBs too, right?
Yeah, we're going to be releasing that at PRI, so yeah, you guys can see it very shortly.
Yeah, obviously I have the R-Tech manifold on the Evo on the other side of the shop. I have the R-Tech manifold on my 2JZ S14, which that'll be here tomorrow, getting some help, getting some love before we go to the LZ Invitational.
IS300, you had one?
The IS300 we did.
Cool.
What other one? I felt like we had another one. No, that was it.
The Supra might need...
I definitely think the Supra is getting a little bit of a revamp here soon. So this is like the standard, you know, this is a future fabrication manifold, really high quality manifold. I love it. It sounds good. It, you know, it works really well, but it's not like that OEM spec. It's not what Toyota would have done from the factory if they wanted to put a GTX 3584 on it.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind putting a G40 on it. I think a G40 would be pretty cool.
That's another thing that we're talking about is like the next stage for the Supra, because I've been really happy with this thing. It made 580 on a Mustang dyno at the wheels on like 30 pounds. The engine's pretty much stock other than valve springs and head studs. And I think I need a 1,000 horsepower Supra.
Who doesn't need a 1,000 horsepower?
You're in America and you don't have a 1,000 horsepower Supra. You're the most un-American there is.
And I could actually use that, you know. And it's crazy that my Civic makes more power than this.
I just drove down the street with no bonnet and a turbo, you know, 4-inch pipe in the Mustang.
Hanging out with the big V8.
Yeah,
and the Fox Body
I feel
Mustang.
like you're getting outgunned by the Mustang.
Well, this one's nice. It has AC. It's like, you know, it's a nice car. But I definitely think it needs to step it up.
You can have AC and 1,000 horsepower. I mean, that's okay.
So you're finding excuses, Trev?
Yeah,
No, I'm just saying, that's why I haven't done it yet, is because I really enjoy this car at the power level. Like, it's just a good car. Like 600 horsepower in a Supra works really well.
I think they can. I actually made 600 horsepower with stock turbos on a Supra.
Really?
Yeah, ran 11.0 at 129 mile an hour.
Wow.
With stock ceramic turbos.
That's crazy.
We like to squeeze things in Australia.
You're
yeah.
A
G40 tapped out would be.
Yeah, you might want to step it up a bit. Your air filter's bigger than your compressor cover.
Yeah.
And you know, now you've got a bunch of people watching your YouTube channel that are just going to be peppering you to make this 1,000 horsepower.
Can you guys comment in this video and tell them what turbo we've got to run?
We're thinking G40.
Yeah, G40. 1150.
1150, and that'd be a nice setup.
Yeah,
You'd have to squeeze it a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's an 800 horsepower all-day turbo.
So, and I guess the only thing that I'm scared of in that aspect is traction. And I guess that's why I have an R33 GTR to build, right?
That'd be a cool setup. I reckon.
You're not putting the 2J in the 33. I can see that
I
look
mean,
on your
No,
face.
I was thinking that should happen.
No.
I think keep the sweet. I think 26 actually.
I like a 26.
They just sound.
They sound good.
awesome.
They rev.
Yeah.
With the right turbo combination and an R-Tech manifold, G35 900.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
agree.
800
I
horsepower
agree
all
with
day.
that. The G35 900 is
It's
probably
the perfect setup.
There's a workshop in Sydney, Birrong Automotive. They just love the G35 900s, and he pumps those cars all day, every day. Great
A little
combo.
PRP coloured turbo smart gate to match the rest of the
Yeah.
car, and coil kit, ignition trigger kits, and
Yeah.
head studs and valve springs.
Yeah, I
and
think
you're halfway there.
like
you know?
Trev, you've been spoiled with the 2J VVTi.
I'd agree, yeah.
The timing systems on them are exceptional. I reckon the 32, 32, 36. No, but no, your timing gear.
The 36 minus 2,
Yeah,
the Pro trigger kit.
that is true.
It just makes it a whole new car to drive. And with the coil kit and a few oiling issues sorted out with some pumps and
9,500
restrictors and bits and pieces, you can rev them 9 grand all day. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Maybe a stroker kit, maybe.
No, you don't need it.
No stroker?
You could stroke it to 2.8, but you can do that comfortably with a standard crank. And 800 horsepower at the wheels. That's a wild
that's
drive.
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very different.
So, do you think I get rid of the Neo? You don't want me to run the Neo?
No,
or
you
just-
can't put a Neo in a GTR.
No way.
It's,
No way.
that's
It's gotta
illegal.
be a 26.
Yeah. We can go a 28, and you could do a stepped.
I could give you some analogies, but you'd get defunded.
Demonetized?
Demonetized, yeah.
One of the issues with my 26, where's that? There's a cylinder head laying around over here.
Have you got the intake manifold?
No.
We'll find an intake manifold.
We'll find a manifold. I think we need to make that car happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You
agree.
just need to tidy it up a little
Yeah,
bit and paint the engine bay
I think
while
one
it's
thing
out.
that Americans with RBs, especially, is the RBs with high RPM. The noise is pretty.
No,
it's pretty
I agree.
phenomenal.
They're insane. There was one 1320 video. They did a ice cream cruise where they do like a roll race, like kind of on a road course, and there's a really long straightaway. So you come around the corner, kind of load it up, and then there's these cones. And there was an R32 GTR. It just sounded like a bike.
Yeah.
You know, like a crotch rocket. Just
Yeah.
It's not like a motorbike.
that's when I really didn't care about R32s, and then I that day I was like, like something. something there.
Yeah, I think Adam does a good job with his titanium exhausts.
Yeah.
An RB with a 4-inch titanium exhaust that's pretty hard to beat.
Ben and Herman, they actually drove the Mustang here today, and he said it only made 6 pounds of boost.
Yeah, I don't know. We put my foot down at legal speeds and couldn't get it above 6 pounds.
Maybe it was a stally issue. I don't know.
I don't think.
Slipping
I'm not even sure. Has it got a tacho?
On the
on the 2-inch display.
yeah, on the display.
Believe it or not, I was actually trying to avoid that brick.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the brick
We
on the
almost
road.
hit a brick.
The brick, I seen that. No, I avoided it, and then I watched you. You were going towards it.
And he was talking to me at the time,
Yeah.
and then he quickly glanced, and we almost roofed that car.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have
Yeah.
been average, but yeah, I don't have time to look at a tacho
little-
that's.
I need to
what is it,
upgrade
half
this
an inch
upgrade the
wide?
screen a little bit.
He's squinting, trying to see the little numbers on the screen. Bricks come out of nowhere here on the main road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is kind of weird. I'm gonna take him for a ride in the Mustang. We had some boost control issues with it at the track, so that's why it's on wastegate. I have the duty cycle turned all the way down on the electronic boost controller. In third gear, it loads up and then it goes to 20. But like first and second gear is like 6 pounds because it's on gate because I was trying to control it.
I was unimpressed.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry.
Well, the experience for both Herman and I, so the experience isn't just speed. It was the noise.
That turbo sounds really good.
The fear.
It was the
fear. There was a-
wandering when you
Yeah.
come off boost.
Yeah, definitely
that was a good kick.
Maybe stability. I'm not sure what's going on.
It was
there.
the imminent death, I think, that made it exciting.
Maybe it's
Yeah.
got front runners on it or something.
No.
What's the front?
So it has Nittos on the front, like regular street tires, and then on the back it has Mickey Thompson, like ET
Feels
streets.
like there's some play somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe
But
we can undo some ball joints and make it really fun.
Yeah.
It definitely added to the enjoyment of driving it though. So that was a
The
lot
roll
of fun.
cage helped.
We're gonna fire that up and take it for a ride in it. See if we can get it to make more than 6 pounds of boost, and then maybe we could look at the GTR again.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
what you
definitely.
guys think of
We'll
that.
try and get some sort of plan together.
Yeah. Nice rig, right?
Yeah, I'm ready to rip it.
Yeah, that's a lot different.
So that was 17 pounds.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that's a different beast.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's insane. That moves.
So that's it creeping.
Yeah.
Like it creeps up
Yeah,
to
it
that.
was
And then
creeping.
so we hit boost cut too.
Yeah. What was that making?
I think that was 19. Like 18, 19. See that held like 9 pounds.
Yeah.
So it's inconsistent.
It is inconsistent.
Sometimes it'll do it, and sometimes it'll just go past it, you know?
Alright, you gotta go for a drive in that.
What's that?
You gotta get in now.
Has it got 6 pounds or more?
Mate, I don't think you knew how to drive it.
Oh, okay.
Welcome to the death trap.
I don't want to die, Trevor.
So I just know where they're at. Not really, no.
Can we give it a launch here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was definitely driving this thing at half revs.
Yeah. And so that hit 19 and a half
Yeah, I saw
pounds,
that.
and it cut out. That was boost cut.
Yeah, yeah.
So Mustang, what do you think?
Well, I wasn't revving it, so Trevi showed me how to use the throttle correctly, and
It's not really like revving it because you were going full throttle, but
Yeah.
because it's a 4L80E and it has like a 230 rear gear. Yeah, I think it's something stupid. It's like a 230 or 3. I think it's 230. Like normally on drag cars they have 410s.
I think for me it was just how loud the car is, so I thought I was revving it higher than what it was, and I couldn't look at the tacho.
When that boost came on, like it was.
Yeah, definitely a totally different kettle
Yeah.
of fish. 6 pounds feels like a normal big V8.
Yeah.
But I felt 20 pounds, and it was phenomenal.
We felt 20 pounds for like a smidge of a second, and it hit boost cut.
Well, we hit the speed limit.
Yeah.
So,
I really like what we did with this. Like that whole kit, I think it came together super clean, especially for the time period that we had. But yeah,
well, this is a G42. I think it needs a G45 1600.
this is the 4.8. It's stock.
Oh, this is the 4.8.
4.8. Yeah,
we don't get the 4.8s in Australia.
Yeah.
We only get basically this 5.7, 6, 6.2.
Yeah, so this is the baby truck motor. Like this is the one that you go to the junkyard here for $300 and you pull them out. That's
$300.
$300. You go get one of these at the junkyard.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the turbo kit. It's a good setup.
Titanium dump pipe is worth more than $300.
Oh, that's just stainless.
Is it stainless? That
Yeah.
looks like a nice weld.
Yeah. Thank you.
I like the
Thank you.
crossover pipes and everything. You didn't make that.
Yeah, Garrett basically fabricated it.
Garrett's a good fabricator.
He's really good
I
fabricator.
really like
yeah.
his work.
Yeah, no, he did really good.
Pretty trick setup, right?
Nice. It does the job.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then, so yeah, we got the full D-Works fuel system. We got the Holly, got all that
I
stuff.
really like the Holly. Flipping through it with the touch screen.
I think having the car not handle at all made it feel so much faster.
Yeah, definitely the
guys-
car's ability to stop, or the lack of it.
Yeah,
that really makes it
See,
fast, even when you're not
the
going
crazy
fast.
thing is, so Ben, what do you have? 380 millimeter rotors on your Supra.
Yeah, my Supra.
And he had Mark IV Supra, 800 horsepower, had it on the road course.
Yeah.
So he's used to like big like canoe brakes. Like this thing to me, I think it stops great.
I felt like I was pushing a block of wood against a drive shaft and trying to stop it. via
Define stops.
that. Yeah, no. Yeah. Well, I don't think we came to a stop really with this car at all. We just had to sort of slow down.
We slowed down.
We need a couple of boat anchors that
Yeah.
the passenger can throw out the window and tie to the roll cage.
Yeah.
But driving this, or you're driving this and going for a ride with 20 pounds of boost with a 4.8 litre, it's definitely
Feels pretty good.
well, it's inspired me to make some really cool turbo kits for
Yeah.
it now.
So what do you think of the Supra?
We were discussing that we actually painted the car the same colour.
The colour,
Yeah.
same colour.
Same colour as yours.
Yeah, so it was the Lexus 3L5, I think it was, that we came up with.
And so that's why I painted my car this way, because I didn't want my car to be like somebody think that your car was my car,
Yeah.
or because there's a couple of them like that now. There's one in Russia or something.
Yeah,
the
wow.
guy's pretty popular on Instagram, and literally like it would look the same as this.
So one of the
I forgot that we had the halos on.
yeah,
And he's like, "What did you do to the
headlights?
headlights?
I've never seen headlights like that before. That was
Can you
very
do that in
different.
Australia?"
Did this car just come back from SEMA show? Because that kind of looks a little bit.
Yeah.
No, we did. We
Yeah.
had it on at the SEMA show.
police officer would like to have his way
That's
with you
cute.
today. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing this thing turn 1,000.
You guys haven't looked at the 33.
All right, let's go.
And-
Let's go.
as well as the Evo wagon. And then we also have, you just released the Ameribera manifold,
Correct. Yeah.
and I have one of those sitting on the engine stand over here
Oh, wow,
as well,
okay.
so you can take a look at it. So, first impressions of the GTR.
We can work with this.
yeah, it's a good base.
Yeah.
Definitely a good base. Definitely.
It's a good start.
Yeah, when you said it was repaired at one stage, I didn't see any
Well, you haven't
damage.
looked underneath it. That
Yeah.
like the top of it looks great. Like when I seen it, like I was like, "Yep, here we go." But like the bottom is
It's like an average chick with great makeup.
yeah. Herman, you do a lot of stuff with like RB30s and a bunch of crazy stuff with RBs. I've never done anything with RBs past what we did with the 32. And so initially the plan with this was to do the RB20 25 Neo, and they're both looking at me like you're
You
crazy.
can't. You're not allowed. I'm sorry, it's banned.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
He's used to 4.9 LSs, so he's kind of
4.8s.
4.8. So
That Neo, it can stay over there on the stand.
I
that's,
agree. I
That's
agree
so what
with
do I
that.
put the
It's
Neo
better
in
that
then?
way.
That's you've got way too many cars.
I
to
spent
How
some
about this?
I spent some good money on that Neo, and then now
You can go in that.
yeah. What do you think about this thing? You like
Yeah,
that?
that'll work.
So then obviously, this was the very first R-Tech product that I was
Introduced
ever
to.
introduced.
Yeah.
And
That's my Evo 4-9 low mount reverse rotation.
yeah.
Yeah, good for G25s through to G35s. One of the big workshops in Sydney, Mixed Motorsport, they're belting out 800 to the tire with that.
That's crazy. And hopefully, I mean, honestly, I think this one could probably do it. Maybe with a little bit bigger turbo, but it's crazy because full-size
This
radiator.
needs to change. What's this garbage?
We can work that.
Yeah.
I think it needs one of the new PRP cam covers which we're about to release.
Yep.
And it's got the integrated R35 coil kit in it. And we can supply you some sensor relocation kits and fix it all up. Yeah, and that's... You can go to a G35 on this thing. What do you think?
G30.
I'm
I mean,
not
we'll
sure
see.
it's ready for it yet,
We'll see.
to be honest.
We'll make some jam with this. But the crazy thing, I mean, look at it. AC, power steering, full-size radiator.
Yeah, you can
That's
run
all-
you
that's
can
all.
run a 3.5-inch dump as well.
Yeah.
With AC.
I need to get on that. We need to start
Yeah.
fabricating. We've got a 4-inch intake.
That's pretty good. Yep.
Just need to figure out
I
some.
like your intercooler pipe's really neat there.
Need to get a different battery. This one's kind of needs a little more amperage, I think, because one's only like 540 or so.
Did you say you made this wagon?
Yeah, we built it.
Made it.
Okay. How?
So,
What do you
well,
mean?
they
Where's-
don't come.
Oh,
So,
This isn't a real one.
mine's a JDM one.
yeah. I've seen it because I've seen his.
Yeah.
They're never made. They're not legal over here.
Yeah. So
So-
essentially what I did, so over here in the United States, they have it's like a grandma, it looks like somebody like a mail carrier would drive. A little wagon I mean, it literally was this car. Front wheel drive, no wide body, no nothing, and it was front wheel drive automatic only. And so I got a wrecked Evo, took the whole drivetrain, engine, tranny, all that other stuff, but the suspension in the back. So if you look back here, you can see we have like that kind of sedan, like instead of it being an actual wagon.
Yes.
So everything from the floor pan, basically the rear mounts of the seat, the whole floor pan, all the way back to the taillights, the whole bottom is from an Evo. So we literally, I'll show you some pictures, but we literally cut the back of an Evo off. We ordered,
These Americans are nuts, aren't they?
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
Convert
So
everything.
we had to convert the strut tower in the front. We had to take a whole strut tower out of the Evo because it was different.
Yeah.
The quarter panels are OEM brand new from Japan.
Still buying.
Yeah. And then rear bumper, Japan. This thing, Japan. Rear wing is all
So
like Japan.
On mine, I've got our white wagon. Are these the tail lights off the Povo spec one?
Oh, the one from the United States?
Yeah.
Yeah, these are United States spec.
wow.
The other thing that we had to do is we took the Evo door, because wide body.
Yep.
The wide body Evo door, and then we had to weld the frame because it's square right here for the wagon. So we had to do that.
Pretty big mods, huh?
Oh, this was an insane project. Like this thing was completely gutted, like literally nothing in it, a bare shell. The whole back of it was just hanging. Like it was just the roof, and we.
I'm glad you didn't give this one away. I like
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah.
This one's not
You
going.
seem to give everything else
This
away.
one's not going in a giveaway.
Yeah. Not yet, at least. Not yet.
No, never.
We got done with this thing, and then it was like, okay, now it's time to like move shops, do some other things.
It needs a series
Needs a series.
with the new upgrades.
Yeah. Well,
finishing
maybe
the car.
I was just waiting for the new coil covers to come out,
Yeah.
or the.
The cam covers
Cam
and the
covers?
coil
I
kit
think
and
you
all
need
that.
to put an ECU in it.
Maybe we
Yeah.
should just go mechanical fuel and dump a G42 in this bad boy. Let's go.
All right, guys. So I think that is going to be it for today. Hanging out with these guys. We're going to do a little bit more stuff tomorrow. I think we're going to take you guys up Pikes Peak.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. Can't wait. That's
Go see that.
definitely been watching that since I was a kid.
Can we push this up and down?
Oh,
That'd be
This
cool.
thing.
That'll be my dream.
So we can say we've done it.
The
Yeah,
GTR at Pikes Peak.
Well, we have the R35.
Hey.
Just has
Oh, we've got a 35.
We have
There's a
35.
35 in the shed. That just happened.
35 in the shell.
done.
See you guys later.